jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
WC is back on the boulevard once again. First in the building. Samar Warren on deck. I see you. What's good? Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Being the first on deck. L Dog in the building. What's good with it? Salute. This will be the first time. I won't say the last time, but this will be the first time that I've actually had Frank Martin on the thumbnail in the arena or the auditorium of WCS. And it's a good reason that I have Frank Martin on deck. Frank Martin is 17 victories in, 0 defeats, 12 knockouts. And of course, he's Elias the Ghost. He's 28 years of age as of January 2023. All right. He is a southpaw, 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. His KO percentage resides at 70.59%. Okay. Like I said, Frank Martin is a professional boxer who's campaigning in the 135-pound division. The reason why he's a topic of discussion today is because an article that I read, again, from one of my favorite news outlets, depending on what day it is, if it's Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? They put an article out that said, as I have on the thumbnail, Devin Haney dismisses Frank Martin. He old as you know what I'm saying? He said he's too old. All right. Let me make it perfectly clear. Frank Martin's birthday was in January 2023. All right. So he turned 28 years old. And truth be told, he did come off a very superb victory in his last outing in his lopsided victory over Michel Rivera. Another highly, hyped, touted prospect that was on the rise too. And not to mention now, notice I said prospect. You know what I'm saying? I have to be very careful on how I use that term, because when a fighter has as many fights, we're talking about 15, 20. Let's use the bar at 20. Michel Rivera had 24 professional fights. Do I have to call him a prospect? Because if I call him a prospect, that would devalue what Frank Martin actually accomplished, right? That will almost put it as if he's a gardener. And I don't find Machado Rivera as a gardener. I find him as a fighter that was outperformed by a better fighter than Frank Martin. Now, the situation gets a little temperature to it. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a little bit hot. Okay. It starts to bubble just a little bit. Because when it comes to WCS, speaking on a certain topic that's attached to a certain fighter, people may feel some type of way. This particular stream not only attaches Frank Martin to Errol Spence, which has absolutely nothing to do with this live stream, but he is signed, from my understanding, Man Down Promotions, right? But this is attaching two lightweights to one another, Frank Martin to Devin Haney. WCS has been on record as speaking highly, you know what I'm saying, speaking highly in my concern of black fighters using poor excuses, holding grudges, coming up with reasons not to fight other black fighters that are very much qualified to step in the ring with them. I don't like it. It just seems like it takes away from the history of the sport, with black fighters being able to compete against one another like back in the day. We had plenty of black fighters fighting each other back in the day, and they made pretty good money doing it. But throughout the years, you know, times have changed. The article just came out. Boxing News 24 said, you know, Devin Haney dismisses Frank Martin. He old, right? So Devin Haney says he's old. It says, and this is written by Alan Fox. It says Devin Haney was dismissive of unbeaten contender Frank Martin, calling him old after learning he wants to challenge him for the undisputed. Let me continue because I know, you know, the bells are going to start chiming like it's Sunday. I know it is. It's just like them church bells going to start ringing in your head, and you're going to exactly know where I'm going with it. Let me reread that intro. Devin Haney was dismissive of unbeaten contender Frank Martin, calling him old after learning he wants to challenge him for the undisputed lightweight championship. For the record, Martin 17-0, 12 knockouts, is 28 years old and ranked number 2 in the WBA, and in position to soon challenge for a world title following his lopsided 12-round unanimous victory over Machado Rivera last December. It was a masterclass performance from the Ghost Martin, with him dominating the talented Rivera. Haney says, he old as he should be, said Devin Haney on social media, reacting to Frank Martin say he wants to fight. Pretty much saying he's old. That's why he's chasing the belt. Okay. It's unknown why it caused Haney to be upset and devalue Frank Martin as a worthy challenger for him, because 28 isn't considered old. Moreover, Martin is only 4 years older than 24-year-old Haney. One logical explanation for why Haney called Martin old is that he could view him as a threat and doesn't wish to fight him for reasons that he might lose. Okay? So, it goes on to say, unfortunately for Martin, he's not ranked high enough to force a fight against Haney. And by the time he is in position to force a title shot as a mandatory, Devin will likely have moved up to 140. Okay? So we're about to page through some little chapters in this live stream right quick, if you don't mind. We have to identify some information that we just don't understand. One of the primary key words would be age. Okay, we've seen fighters come back in boxing and they was older than what we would consider to be physically able or medically cleared to compete on the level for which they did. And guess what? They was able to do it. They proved us wrong. It's been plenty of time older fighters have proved us wrong. But we all know that 28 years old It's not old. And I'm about to prove it to you. I'm about to prove it to you, baby. So shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. Salute to you, big dog, on deck. Big Blunts and boxing in the building. What's good, family? I see you on deck, Blunts. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling, Bruce? Ghost is a year younger than Tank, and Tank old. Oh, Eldol, please don't put the church bell down. God damn, put the church bell down. Didn't I tell you if the church bell start ringing, don't start singing the hymn? Let me guide you. That's all I'm saying. Just let me do what I'm supposed to do. But I ain't mad. I'm not mad because you already know where I'm about to head. I ain't mad, but you already know where I'm about to head. So, since there has been mention of the direction for which my compass is about to lead you, let me take you on a little journey. Okay? Let me first share and present you with this information. Okay? I want to first off bring up a fighter who is near and dear to this situation, closer than you would think. All right? Closer than what you would think. So this right here, Devin the Dream Haney has 29 victories, 0 defeats, and 15 knockouts. He currently sits at 24 years of age, 4 years younger than that of Frank Martin. He's 5'8", 71-inch reach, and his KO percentage sits at 51.72%. He is the current reigning, defending, undisputed lightweight world champion. With that accolade, I'm going to address certain intricate details that's pertaining to this topic. Let me first start off with George Kambosos. George Kambosos was the last fighter that Devin Haney had to face to potentially cement his legacy of becoming undisputed title holder in lightweight division. So what I want to show you George Kambosos' age. His age is 29 years old. Now, of course, when Devin Haney went into the first fight with George Kambosos, right? We already know what date that was, right? When he went into the first fight with George Kambosos, it was June 2022. Okay, June 5th, 2022. After that, Kambosos had a birthday. So by the time Devin Haney stepped back in for a rematch with George Kambosos, which was October 2022, he would be 29 years of age. That would equal and exceed the age of Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? A fighter who had turned 3. Let's hold on for a second. So here goes Jojo Diaz. If you look at JoJo's age, he's 30 years of age. All right. He's 30 years of age, which puts him right up there around the age group. Is and Frank Jojo Diaz is 30 years of age. But yet he and for now the podium. All right. 30 years of age. That's a telltale sign that George Kambosos, who was at that age of Frank Martin, also Jojo Diaz, who is at that age of late 20s, early 30, right? But let's check out Jorge Linares, who he fought May of 2021. May 29th of 2021. Jorge Linares. So pretty much, Jorge Linares sits at 37 years of age, people. 37 years, the elder. 37 years of age. So was he, let's do the math. From 20, if you go down here when he fought Devin Haney in 2021, how many years is that up to the current? Is it 7? No, it's way beneath 7. So we're talking about Jorge Linares was around 34-ish when he stepped in there. Still the old the fighter, right? Right? He was extremely old. You know what I'm saying? When Haney stepped in there with him. All right. And last but not least, I'm going to bring in the elder statesman and Yorkis Gamboa, the Cuban, who has been around for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know who Gamboa is, but did you know his age? You see his age is not up here because they're still utilizing Gamboa. He currently sits at 30 victories, 5 defeats, 4 stoppages, dog. 4 stoppages. And somewhat of the value of a fighter is who they fought and what has happened since they fought that fighter that they're attaching them to for the claim to fame. And you just look at certain things and you just you scratch your nose and be like, you scratch your head and the older guy coming off another loss to Isaac Cruz, being stopped in the 5th round. I'm not here to go here. I just want to identify how old he is. So I said to bring this right here. What it boils down to just basically the decorum of trying to prove a point. Sometimes when it comes for me, I've been told I'm casually abusive. That means I can express my delivery in a way that people feel like I'm not being abrasive to a point, but it seems like I'm still swinging knives. You know what I'm saying? I'm still speaking to someone that is, and I'm not doing no ill intent. I'm not, I'm just reporting. And it's 2 that I left off. Officer Lomachenko, who's seen victories and 2 defeats. Vasyl Lomachenko is a two-time gold standard Olympian. You know what I'm saying? His age sits at 35 years old. He's a southpaw, Ukrainian southpaw, height 5'7", 65.5-inch reach. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But my point for bringing up Vasyl Lomachenko is that he too is considered to be in the bubble of age when you're talking about the OLD community. If Devin Haney is speaking about Frank Martin being old as ish, then I went through his last four opponents, not to mention his upcoming opponent on May 20th, which is Vasyl Lomachenko, who spent 2 tours of duty internal to the Olympics, earning gold medals. So he definitely has tread. That is why his record is the way it is. At one point in time, Orlando Toledo had a prestigious loss over Vasyl Lomachenko. Not any loss, but his first loss. He was the only one. And then there was a moment where they attempt to absolutely expunge this freaking loss that he had with Orlando Toledo to clear him of any defeats. And they depicted that on live television. Now, that's not my entire point. What I'm trying to make. That's not my entire point. The point is, Lomachenko in boxing years is probably around 43 to 47 years of age. He has tread on the tire. He's a good guy, but he has tread on the tire. My point is, he's of age. He's 35. He's up there with Linares. He's up there. He's half the distance, you know what I'm saying, for the 40-year-old club. He's old. But yet he's Devin Haney's next opponent. He's Devin Haney's opponent. And that's all I'm trying to illuminate here, that these fighters, which Lomachenko will make your previous past 5 fighters, they all have age on them. So as a black man speaking to another black man, we have to stop. We have to stop sitting up here, putting out information just to deter the fan base from believing that another black fighter isn't worthy of stepping in the square with you, bro. That's not cool, man. Why can't we catch the fade with one another on a competitive level and break bread? Why is it so difficult for one good fighter, which happened to be black, to contend against another black fighter? Something crazy has to come out. Oh, you ain't fought nobody. You too old. You a bum. I mean, why is that the case? But hold on. We got one more. We have one more, people. We have the finale. We have a fighter by the name of Gervonta Tank Davis, who has been in the conversation. Both teams have had one another name in the boxing conversation. Okay. We've heard Team Haney talk reckless about Team Davis, and we heard responses from Team Davis. They've been going back and forth, back and forth. It's no freaking secret. This is public record, right? So supposedly, Devin Haney is rumored, when he gets past, because I believe he's going to beat Lomachenko. He gets past this fight with Lomachenko. His only wishes to stay at 135 would be if he's able to fight Gervonta Tank Davis or a Shakur Stevenson, possibly. You know what I'm saying? But more so Gervonta Davis. But Gervonta Davis is 28 years of age. And this is why I'm reaching out to my people. I'm not out here trying to be facetious. All I'm saying is I'm just trying to provide that one long kite with a message on it. Listen to what you're saying. You just said Frank Martin was too old, but Gervonta is 28 years old. Gervonta is a fighter clearly that you want to fight with in the near future. But the deterrence comes into play where you're putting up a red flag and saying that 28 years of age is too old. But yet you may indeed in the near future share the ring with a 28 to 29-year-old fighter for the biggest fight of your life. So all I'm doing is saying it would be cool for you to retract that statement. And more so when you're in the presence of the media, my people, just watch what you say. Because if that person is in line, you're placing him on a manifesto to hopefully be able to grace the square with him. Do you are you the value of stepping in there with the likes of someone like Gervonta Davis? As the saying with, Gervonta Davis stepping in there with Devin Haney. But you, Devin, if you're saying that Frank Martin is old, then guess what? You're saying pretty much the same thing for Tank Davis, which it doesn't make sense. Because anybody will tell you in your 20s, you still powering. You still full power. All cylinders are good, body still able to, you know what I'm saying? Still able to get up and hit the road and push that pavement. But we shouldn't go there. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't even try to pretend like Frank Martin is too old. It doesn't make any sense. It makes none at all, man. We're seeing fighters go well into their 30s and still competing at a high level. Still competing at a high level. We have fighters in their 30s still competing at a high level. But yet, Frank Martin is depicted as being an old fighter when the fighter that you really want to fight for the legacy fight is Gervonta Davis, who is currently 28 years of age. So my suggestion is, outside the scope of your team is, I would just suggest you just watch your words a bit. Don't mess up the bag. Don't give anybody else any dissuasion not to pay any attention to, you know what I'm saying, to you potentially stepping there with Gervonta based off the words that you said about Frank Martin. Because both of these fighters are freaking the same age, man. Tank may have turned 28 before Frank Martin, but still, they in the late 20s, and you're about to be in your mid 20s. That's all WCS was trying to send a message for. That's all. It's no negativity. All I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to say something that might make you want to stare, look in the mirror and say, you know what? He actually cared. I like that, WCS. That actually makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because why would I be putting out there the age of one fighter who's not even, he's just calling me out that I may not even step in the ring with next. Vice the other fighter that has similarities to the gripe that millions of viewers are reading right now. You're griping about his age. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, Shawty, for real. Shout out to King Mitch on deck. He said, hell no, Frank Martin shouldn't move up, especially because of his age. He's in the same age group as most of them guys. Haney just young. Biggest fights for the Ghost are at 135. The reason why I put should Frank Martin move up is simply based off reading that Devin Haney seems like he's disinterested in gracing the square with Frank, which Frank Martin and Devin Haney, if you put them two names together, I think it'll draw a little bit of interest, but nothing like the interest of him and Shakur Stevenson, and definitely not the interest of him and Gervonta Davis. That's why I put that up there, because if he's trying to get a title, and if Devin decides to campaign at 135 for this fight with Lomachenko and another fight potentially with somebody else, Gervonta or Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin's going to be hanging around for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be hanging out for a while. And plus, he's going to have to do a shift change in the rankings to put him in position to get the Mando in a sanctioning body. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like Devin seems like he don't want to fight him. So where is he going to get that title shot? They're going to put him in for an interim. We all know the real fighters, they look at the interim like an hors d'oeuvre. No, I want the main course. I want the entree. That's what I want. Ghost had put himself in line for a title shot. Why move up now? Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, a.k.a. Showtime Shaw on deck. Team Tucker in the building. Man, shout out July 1st. It goes down again. Shout out to Jihad Tucker and his team over there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely in the building. Frank Martin is 28-year-old contender that is being moved like a prospect. But yet, Sir YouTube channels hype him up like he is a killer that none of the top guys want to fight. Shaking my head. Yeah, I just pretty much, I wasn't even talking about his presence right now and how they're moving him. I was more so, kind of corresponding to the article that Devin Haney said that he was he was an old dude, but his last 4 opponents outside of Lomachenko all had age on them, and Lomachenko currently has age on him. Not to mention the fighter that he truly wants in Gervonta Davis is 28 going on 29 years old. So numbers in this case don't lie. They don't. Ghost can't do nothing but keep his O till it's time to get a belt. True words. True words, man. IG check. His daddy tried to correct his old comments last week. Okay. Frank is being moved like the rest of these guys. He got common opponents with Ryan, Rolly, and Comey. And he just beat undefeated Rivera, climbing the ranks appropriately. Got to see what's next. Well, he's definitely not going to fight Rolly unless he move up to 140. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not going to fight Ryan. That would be some good step-up fights. But we do know, Mitch, that he does have Keyshawn Davis, who's been calling him out. Okay, so he really doesn't have to draw the curtains on Devin. Why call out Devin and he's tied up? Keyshawn, he's not tied up. And he's made it a point to call Frank Martin out and say, I want the smoke. Make the fight. Let's make it happen. Let's go. I would rather see that fight before anything because I believe it's accessible. I believe it's definitely an easier fight to make rather than waiting to see if he ever get Devin Haney. I mean, come on now. It was a point in time where Devin was in the same spot as a Frank Martin. So since he's holding the crowns, he's not going to look back. He's not going to adjust his body and reach back. And say, oh, Frank, how you doing, buddy? Didn't see you back there. Come on up here. Let's talk. Yeah. Move that out the way. Sit down right here. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to invite him for a conversation to ride shotgun while they go on a little ride and talk about potential fight. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Frank ranked top 6 lightweight in the world. And see, that's another deal that may be crucial in him not getting the fight because he's ranked number 6. So if you're the champ, why would you fight somebody number 6 unless it made really good sense? Like you're talking about, you about to fight a top ranked fighter now in Lomachenko. So you're saying he fights 2 times in Australia, then he beats Lomachenko, and he's going to reach back to fight Frank Martin? It's not happening. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Seriously, it's not happening. Haney can't be out here on selective dismissive because of Frank's age. It's not helping that he's fighting a guy much older in Loma and has fought guys way older. Yeah, he's fought guys way older, man. So to me, given the blow-by-blow analysis, it makes no sense at all, man. Going from fighter to fighter, them last 4 fighters outside of Lomachenko that he's fought, it makes no sense. So all I'm saying is, let's try to keep it positive, competitive. You know what I'm saying? Just try to draw in the interest of the fans. just with a little bit of competitive spirit. Don't put nobody age into it. It just doesn't make any sense what I'm trying to say. It makes no sense at all. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense at all. That punch didn't land. Real talk. That punch did not land, bro. That punch did not land right there. I just look at this all the time and I'm saying to myself, dang, the lightweight division is hot right now. And it has a surplus of black fighters in there that can either fight, whoever's accessible, because there's not a lot of Mexican fighters there. I know you got the Isaac Cruz. Okay, I got it. But Isaac Cruz seems like he's hanging out in close proximity. You know what I'm saying? He's sleeping in the car down the road and waiting for that phone call from Team Davis. That's what it seems like to me with Isaac. So they're not going to get Isaac. He's made that clear. He didn't want to fight Ryan Garcia. He didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. He ain't fighting none of you guys. So that leaves a lot of black to black selection, especially with Keyshawn Davis in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Also, we can't forget Kid Austin. I'm just saying, if you're going to go through the lightweight institution, goddammit, you cannot forget Kid Austin. Floyd Schofield, you cannot forget him. He's there. He's a threat. You know what I'm saying? He's a threat. He's waiting for his shot. He's throwed them shots. He's throwed them shots out there too. So you take the Frank Martins, the Keyshawn Davises, the Floyd Schofields. You know what I'm saying? You still have Machero Rivera out there. I don't want to bring up Lomachenko, but you got Richard Comey, who's at a higher division. So the common opponents that used to be down here on some of these fighters, they're no longer residing there. You know what I'm saying? They left the weight class. It's a lot of black fighters there that could be matched up to fight each other. They just have to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Schofield, that dude's look like when he in the ring, he looked like he's a welterweight. He's making weight. He look like a welterweight. It's plenty of names to match it up now. I wouldn't mind seeing Floyd Schofield fight Frank Martin. Keyshawn fight Schofield, or Keyshawn fight Frank Martin, which would make out for a better matchup because Keyshawn has been televised a lot and people know who he is. His value, his presence on the big screen has risen. So him and Frank Martin fighting, yeah, I think that might be a dandy right there. Real talk. Haney can be out here. Okay, I read that. Shout out to Coach Malachi in the building. True Media Today, USA Boxing on deck. Salute to everyone in the chat family. What's good? W says, what's good with it, Coach? What's good with it, Coach? Salute to your brother. According to that snippet from Bill Haney, sounds like Devin just called everybody old, even if they aren't. I don't know what's going on. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Look, this is strictly them quoting Boxing News and whoever else quoting Devin Haney and what he said about the old, bringing up the age. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, look, it's not like it's going to be any type of motivation to draw more people in and see that fight. If you're basically denouncing Frank Martin as being old, then how are you going to make the fight if it presents itself? If you can't get Tank and you want another fight, you're going to have to be selective. And I know the next one in line per se is Shakur Stevenson. I get it. But, Frank Martin is in a position right now where people believe. You know what I'm saying? When people start to believe, they believe he's the goods, bro. People thinking, okay, Frank Martin is the goods to a point. He's the goods. That's what certain people are believing. So if he's indeed the good, then we need to see something just come out that we wasn't expecting. Put him in there with one of them up and comers because he's an up and comer. And just like Showtime said, they pretty much moving him like a prospect. They're moving him extremely carefully. All right. Extremely. Notice I used the safe word, carefully. I didn't say any of the harsh, abrasive language. They're moving him extremely careful. All right. That Floyd Schofield kid is really green right now. Check this out, Mitch. I agree with you saying, but we have to be careful what we call green if we're not calling Keyshawn green. And the reason why we're not calling some of these other fighters that have less than 10 fights green is because maybe potentially they're amateur pedigree, right? And Keyshawn is a silver medal champion, Olympic champion, silver standard. He is respected and he is being pushed because it's Olympic, background. And some other fighters like Shakur Stevenson, he's a silver medalist also. But the difference is Shakur, he's a 2-weight world champion. That's huge. That changes everything. So if they can't get Tank, I'm pretty sure if you're talking about the money fight and you're talking about a step up in pay and notoriety for both fighters, yeah, we're talking about Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. That's if he cannot get Gervonta Davis. I don't think any of the other fighters, would be able to get that fight. I don't think Frank Martin will be able to get that fight. Now, when you want to talk about pay, then yeah, if they want to cut the costs and go in for the low, they can go get Frank Martin. But they're going to have to come up just a little bit for Shakur Stevenson. That's just the way it is, man. And Shakur Stevenson has been on record as identifying that, yes, Devin Haney is the, who did he say? Did he say Gervonta or Devin? I forgot what he said. I think he said Gervonta was the A side. He was on record. If I'm wrong, somebody just put it in the chat for me. You know what I'm saying? But he's been on record as saying, he knows who the A side is. I'm not sure if he was talking about Gervonta or Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was Gervonta because he was saying some good things about him. He said, yeah, okay, I pretty much understand he's the A side. All right. If Frank Loma Ancient. Yeah, man. Shout out to Andrew Charles on deck. What's good with it, Andrew? Schofield a step down for Frank Martin, in my opinion. Like, listen, you get no resistance over here from if Frank Martin to step down. I mean, if Floyd Schofield a step down for Frank Martin. No resistance whatsoever because he's still trying to prove himself too. But I guarantee you, if Frank Martin can get the Devin Haney fight, I'm going to be extremely optimistic that he go in the direction of a Floyd Schofield, aka Kid Austin. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think it'll be a pretty decent fight, but look, the only reason I'm bringing this up because his pops has made it perfectly clear that they are out here to set fires. They made it perfectly clear in the interview. They made it perfectly clear on the interviews that they're here for the smoke and they're looking for the smoke. So I understand where Mitch is coming from, but when it comes down to them believing that he's ready and you're not being fair, if you place a color on him, like the color green, then he should get the fight. I mean, it's not like Frank Martin have a huge selection down here. He's not going to get in there with Shakur Stevenson. Errol Spence is not going to give him that fight. I don't know if whatever they got going on, I don't know if he's going to be able to get Keyshawn Davis or not. I would definitely like to see that before Floyd Schofield. That's just me. But as far as contractual purses and going in for the low, get this fight out the way. Frank Martin and Floyd Schofield, I think they can make that pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? They have selection down there. I just wanted not to play out, over on the amount of years. I'm tired of hearing this up the roads nonsense when it comes to black fighters, just like Amari Jones. Amari Jones took it upon himself to use the LeBron James of boxing's name just to bring more attention and say he wasn't impressed. But when asked, he said maybe up the road. But I ain't ducking no smoke though. But maybe up the road. But I ain't ducking no smoke though. But maybe up the road. Which one is it? I'm tired of hearing my people, especially when it comes to boxing, always talking about up the road, up the road. I mean, it seems like you're doing yourself a disservice to be able to have people mention your name in the conversation of the greats that fought each other that was black. You know what I'm saying? The Hearns, the Haglers, Leonards, you know what I'm saying? The Ali's, Foremans, Fraziers. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many names that's back there who were black fighters that fought each other, and they was considered elite, or they was close to the elite status. All they needed was that other name to catapult them to the next level. It seems like today they stay away from each other. It's like two magnets, man. Like, why do they stay away from each other? Why the contracts cannot be signed when it comes to these up and coming black fighters to fight each other? You can do all the talking on social media and everything, but then when your next opponent come out on BoxRec, it's not even close to anyone you was talking trash about. It's some other fighter we never heard, you know what I'm saying, from South Africa, Germany. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no one close to being, black. So all I'm saying is, man, we can fight each other. We do it in the streets all the time. We do it online every time, all the time, man. So it becomes a soul-sucking situation. It sucks the life out of you, bro. Thinking about these fighters that can fight each other, but yet they talking about, oh, well, up the way, years from now, later on in our career, we can get it on. Man, come on. It's not even guaranteed. Who wants to be like Canelo, man? Don't let me say who wants to be like Canelo, because then I'm contradicting myself. Okay, if you don't want me to talk about Canelo, who fought Floyd, okay, when he was in his early 20s, now he fought Floyd Mayweather. Then why don't you step up and take the risk then? That's all I'm saying. Jump on the zip line and take the ride. I felt like a monster at 28 and well into my 30s. Man, you ain't lying, bro. The recovery period back then, man, God, then you go out to the club, man. You can come in. You're supposed to be at work at 8. Come in at 6, man. Shower up and everything. Go to work at 8. Be there by 8, man, and actually function pretty decent enough to get off work and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Now, first of all, I ain't gonna be at the club in no 6. First of all, and if I come out there at 6, I'm going to sleep in the car. You know what I'm saying? Not even the front seat, the back seat. Shoot. Lost Art of Boxing on deck. What's good? The LAB in the building. What up, family? Who capping today, man? I was just re-emphasizing that Devin Haney has pretty much said that Frank Martin, who's 28 years old, is too old. Why is he calling out? I bet you want a title shot because you old. Nah, I mean, you can't really say that, because it's a lot of good fighters, a lot of solid future Hall of Famers that's residing at the lightweight division right now that's old. Real talk, it's old, man. He's going in there this month with Lomachenko, who's old. Lomachenko's 35 years old now. He's old, bro. I like Schofield. I think Devin was alluding to, was that Frank career-wise is any further than some of his young contemporaries, which is probably true. The man, come on now. We really gonna use Frank Martin's box rec and what his record looking like when Lomachenko is sitting at 17 victories, just like Frank Martin. We really gonna bring up his box rec when Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? 17 wins, 11 knockouts, and Frank Martin has what? One more knockout than Lomachenko at 12, but yet he's extensively younger. So who do you blame in that scenario? Frank Martin being 28 years old and Lomachenko being 35, and he's 17-2, and Frank Martin is 17-0. Who do you blame? Please tell me. I'm inquiring minds from the South wants to know. I want to know, Andrew, who do you blame when you draw that conclusion? 17-0 by 17-2. One more knockout is Frank Martin with 12 and 11 knockouts when it comes to Vasyl Lomachenko. Who do you blame? Because the resumes ain't the same. Who do you blame? The number of fights is not the reason I say Schofield is green. It's performance and level of competition. Solid young fighter. I mean, I agree that his competition could be better, but we have to accredit him there, Mitch, with going in there and fighting the Jackson Mariñez and the Michel Rivera. I have to give this man credit that he absolutely looked better with Michel Rivera than he did when he fought Jackson Mariñez. You know what I'm saying? He looked better. He made some improvement. I don't know if he was banging out with Marvelous Jarvis in that gym, or he was with Macalouis, the Filipino sensation. I don't know what it was, but Frank looked better in this fight with Michel Rivera than he did with Jackson Mariñez. Game Boy Tago versus Kid Austin. See, when you word that like that, it sounds like it has some type of, wild jungle, you know what I'm saying, type of intrigue to it. Like Game Boy Tago versus Kid Austin. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's a video game fight that's about to go down. But when reality sets in there, L-Dog, I don't know how many people would show up for that fight. Definitely it's going to be free. I'm talking about it may be free to the public. Real talk. It might just be open door policy. Hey, just go in and find your seat. Everything's free up in there. Your attendance, food, everything free tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. Who would show up? I'm not saying it's a bad fight for Kid Austin to go in there and see what he can do with Tago. Tago, man, truth be told, bro, he still has that Wall Street value to him a little bit. He came over here with one loss. You know what I'm saying? So people still look at him like, he was able to go the distance from Ryan Garcia. He got dropped and got back up. So people take that in consideration, man. It's a little subtle, little credits that you give him to build up that attention. But I just don't know what the ticket prices will be. Real talk. It'd be a good fight. Simple fight. Everything free. Admission, food, water, air, parking, everything. Q, what's good? Let's see. Tony Boswell on deck, man. Shout out to you, Tony. I see you, big dog. One love to you. Much respect at World Combat Sports in the chat. Stopped in to show support. Just got off work. Salute, brother. Salute to you there, Tony, in the building. I say Frank is ahead of his younger contemporaries. Stop Jackson, Mariñez, and totally outclass a solid, undefeated Rivera. That's what I'm saying. I do accredit him that. Full credit. And he looked better than what he did against Jackson Mariñez. No doubt. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's going to come a time and a place, man, where he's going to get that name. Seriously, he's going to get it. Man, Tago out here auctioning off his L's, man. That's what a lot of fighters choose to do. You know, they fight in their own country for a long time. And then they finally come over here and they start taking L's for the paycheck. That's what they've been dreaming of, man. That's what they've been dreaming of. Y'all hold on for a second. Excuse me. So, as you check out Emmanuel Tagoe, BoxRec, he sits at 32 victories, 2 defeats, man, and 15 knockouts. And you think he has a problem with auctioning off his L's? The man, the last time he was stopped, you want to hear this? Was the first time he laced up as a professional. You know what I'm saying? He was stopped in his debut, just like B-Hop. You know what I'm saying? Just like Robeisy. But he has since recovered and went on a win streak all the way up. So he stepped in there with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Back in April 2022. But yet, if you want to talk about auction, I think his stocks are pretty good right now. Only 2 defeats. I think Floyd Field, you know, I like that. I like it. Yes. He's still durable. He went the distance, bro. So Frank Martin might want to think about a Tagoe. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, Kid Austin might want to think about a Tagoe. He still has Wall Street up in this mug, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest. I'm not big on Frank because I don't like Errol Spence. Is what it is. I can't be more honest than that. I can't acknowledge he's in his prime and pretty dedicated, though. Tough opponent. I mean, like, look, I can feel some type of way about, you know, his promoter, right? But therefore, I'm just reporting on the boxer himself. I don't go around here spending unnecessary energy on just holding grudges. I can do that with people, but it's no reason for me to like, okay, I feel some type of way about Frank Martin because he attached to Spence. No, my energy for Spence is strictly direct connection to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But that's not with every team though. But in this case right here, I'm leaving Spence energy for Crawford and Frank Martin for whatever he got going on with who it is. I really don't have no reason to feel no type of way about him. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not going against the grain with you, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? You grown, think how you want to think, feel how you want to feel. But me, I ain't gonna lie. It's some camps I would say that about. Like, yeah, I'm not too fond of that person because they're attached to this person. But I'm not gonna get on here and just talk about them reckless without actually a good reason to. But man, we already know what it is. You know, I pretty much made my point about the age situation. It makes no sense at all. It's frivolous at the beginning of the day. And those of you that's tuned in really don't take it serious. It's no need for you to take that serious at all. Really, no need to take it serious because there's a lot of old fighters that's in their late 20s that's very competitive. And they have a lot of years remaining. You know what I'm saying? They have young legs. And some of these fighters are fighting twice a year. So they preserved all those ligaments and muscles and bones and stuff like that. So I don't know if I can say that for Lomachenko, because he came over here at an older age anyway, and he has a lot of tread. So we're gonna see later on this month how he fares. You know what I'm saying? But he is an old fighter. So like it was put out there, will they give the credit where it's due? Yeah, you got to give the credit. You got to give the credit. You know why? Because they put him in a position to be the third fighter out of the trilogy. They feel that those two medals are like blaring headlights. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere he go, he got the medals, the blaring headlights, LEDs, right? They shine the past. Here go Vasyl Lomachenko one more time. So if he's able to go in there and get a fight, and he only has 2 losses, and they have him currently on the pound for pound list, you have to say to yourself, like, yeah, people gonna say his age, but really, you still got to say he's a competitive fighter at the end of the day. You still got to say that he's quality opposition. No way you can put Lomachenko as a Gardner. No way. No way you can put him as a Gardner. It's no way, bro. He picks up his 3rd loss. Truth be told, that ain't his last fight. Look, if he lose, he racked up 2 freaking quick wins, right? He lose to Devin, I'm pretty sure any one of them, Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin, Schofield, all of them cats. I don't know about Tank really want to fight Loma. I think that'll be too easy of a knockout for him. And he'll probably retire Loma if he fought him. But it's plenty of fighters out here. Keyshawn, if they ever get the opportunity to face Lomachenko, they're going to take it. Regardless how many losses he got, they're going to take the fight. They're going to take the fight, no doubt. No doubt. I hope we see some of these matchups manifest. Yeah, for sure. Any word on who Prince Albert fighting? He's like 6 feet, 130. He'll be 135 in no time. I don't know. But that's a very talented fighter. Shout out to the Prince, man. That's another fighter. You put information out there on him or, post some, he'll definitely show his support and like your post, man. Shout out to Albert. Good guy, man. Good guy. Real talk. He ain't stingy on the, oh, man, let me hit that thumbs up. I like Martin. He seems to have a good fundamentals. I think he can and will test anyone in his division. Hey, Tony, we just waiting to see what's next. You know what I'm saying? Because he's being moved very, very carefully. Frank need one of those gatekeepers with a name. Problem is they don't really exist at 135 anymore. A crowded bunch of contenders and prospects. Gamboa, Linares, and Luke Campbell are gone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just don't have those game gateway keepers. Is that even a word? Gateway gamers, gaming gateway. Gaming gatekeepers. We don't have them gaming gatekeepers anymore. I mean, you got to look at it like this too. Gamboa, the way he was dogged by Isaac Cruz, he should have left. You know what I'm saying? Luke Campbell hasn't fought since his loss to Ryan Garcia. He hasn't fought again. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't fought. Been plenty of fighters in the past I didn't like that won me over by beating someone I do like. Man, if that is not a true statement, I don't know what is, man. Seriously. I mean, that won't be the case between Spence and Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, Andrew. I'm not trying to be petty, dog. But I get it's a very true statement. It's a very correct statement. A fighter can win you over now. A fighter can win you over. I ain't gonna lie. A fighter can win you over that you don't like. But you see him go in there, him or her go in there and fight somebody that you didn't think they'll perform a certain way, and they do. You saying that stuff like, wow, I underestimate you. I did. I underestimated who you were. I did. You proved me wrong. No doubt about it. You proved me wrong. You definitely proved me wrong. I have a 60-40 Devin as long as he keeps his back foot in the center of the ring and use his jab. My worry is Loma can get on the inside and fall out of the clinch. He can, man. Look, Teofimo fight is out there. You know what I'm saying, Tony? Teofimo fight with Lomachenko is out there. And I'll say Teofimo was dancing with Loma. Loma tried to come in there and make those sudden shifts and with those angles that he thought he can land on Tio. And once he made that turn, Tio was right there with him. Right there with him, bro. Right there. You know what I'm saying? Turn for turn. Pivot for pivot. He was right there. And then it got a little shaky in the later part of the fight, and then he regained it. He took back the momentum in the 12. So, yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Yeah. But we also have to look at it, too. Devin's not a slouch with the speed and being able to, I don't know, fight on the inside. I don't look at him as being a feeble type of fighter on the inside with Lomachenko. We just have to see how he looks in there. But I do agree with the inside fighting, man, the dirty boxing. We have to see who has more wrinkles than the other, bro. We have to see how that works out. It's definitely going to be interesting, though. You know, y'all make sure y'all tune in for the fight. Make sure y'all tune in to the fight, man. Let me see. Shout out to Kareem Boxing News in the building. What's good with it, Kareem? Haven't seen you in a minute, man. Hope all is well your way, brother. That's why I showed you that love, Kareem, because I know when I see you come on deck already, I had them put that bag over your head, a plastic bag at that. You know what I'm saying? They already know what it is, man, when you step through the door. I said, hey, y'all took care of that? Yeah, we took care of that. Okay. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. He wasn't live, was he? No, he wasn't live. Nobody saw a thing. Tony said, yeah, but Tio has to have someone lead where he is a counterpuncher, but I have Devin winning, in my opinion. And one thing we've seen in those two fights in Australia is that, you know, he have one of the fundamental tools in boxing, and that is a jab. You can't be mad when somebody uses the jab a lot and it's effective, like it's not up to their opposition to put a halt to that. Come on, bro. Like, it's up to the opposition to put a halt to all that. It's not up to us to sit up here and be mad at a fighter that threw 5,643 jabs when he fought Kambosos. You can't be mad at us. I mean, you can't be mad at them. That is one of the fundamental punches in boxing, the jab, then the 1-2, the 1-2. So if somebody is popping a stick out there, and people say this all the time in sparring, get behind the stick, put the stick out there, stab him with the stick. But when somebody actually commits to stabbing, no, hold up. That's too much. Oh, good God. Hold up, man. You got to throw the two. I mean, throw the combination. But it ain't broke. Don't fix it. I know, man. God dang. But your jab count right now, the stick, it's up to like 4,562 times. We gotta calm down. No. If somebody is actively breaching their opponent's defense with one punch, should somebody be mad? No, you shouldn't be mad. You should be understanding. You should be understanding and aware that they've educated themselves enough. I'm talking about remediation to be able to get away with it. Don't be mad at him. Don't be mad at him. Come on, that's the stuff that some of these high-level combat athletes talk about. Remediation, remediation, remediation. Over and over again. And just I think Devin got a shot at stopping Loma. Devin got the size, the youth, the people criticize his power, but he's an aggressive fighter and puts 100% on shots, and he's got the abilities. He has the ability. I got him beating Lomachenko. You know, if he comes out there, man, listen, remember I told you first, right? You know what I see with this? I see Lomachenko eye looking like Joe Joyce. Don't say that you didn't hear it. But if he goes out there and that jab is punctual, is target precedence. You know what I'm saying? The placement is accurate, center mass. If he's able to land that jab in the first 3 rounds, I'm talking about all the way to the point where Lomachenko eyes start to see, swell, and it just seems like he doesn't have an answer. It's going to be a crazy fight. Real talk. Like, we may see the same result as we seen with Zhang and Joe Joyce. Bing, bong, bing, 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 bong, bing, bong, bong. I'm just saying we might see that take out. More so Joyce. No. I'll take that back. I take that analogy away, and I insert Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois. That's more so of Joyce hitting him with the jab. Joyce was lit up with more than a jab when he fought Zhang. So I have to put Joyce versus Dubois, Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Nakathilia, Maxie Hughes, good matchups for Frank. No doubt. I agree. Nakathilia, man, he's a tough fighter. He just don't get any recognition for being tough, man. He's a law enforcement officer in this country. He doesn't get any recognition, dog. Kambosos is a counterpuncher also. Devin is the man, in my opinion, in his division. Those straps say so. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to hardware now, just to be clear, Tony, in my side, and just to come to hardware, yeah, hardware. But it still has to be proven who's the best. Him and Tank Davis need to prove that. Tank Davis is bringing in hardware that consists of opening Brinks trucks on pay-per-view. You know, Devin is bringing in hardware of suitcases or briefcases, which has belts in it. Which one is making the most money right at this time? It is one that has the least amount of belts and is on pay-per-view. I'm just being honest. Juice Lee, what's good? I can't see Devin stopping Loma at all. I got Haney winning, sure, but definitely not a stoppage. I was thinking more so like a referee stoppage from his eye swelling up, or I don't know. I'm just painting the picture. That's all. I'm just trying to put some life into this. I'm not gonna rule it out. All I'm saying, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for real. It's gonna be interesting. Absolutely. So appreciate y'all for pulling up, everybody. I just wanted to drop that in. I'm gonna end it with this right here. I wanted to talk about this that was put out, this tweet that is out there. Michael Benson, Eddie Hearn has stated that he and Anthony Joshua and Derrick James all want AJ to fight again around July 29th, August 5th, before the potential Deontay Wilder clash in Saudi Arabia in December. I really don't know the preface behind. I just don't get it, bro. I don't know why you would have Anthony Joshua step in there before Deontay Wilder. Like, truth be told, man, why do he need a fight before Deontay Wilder? The man was 2-time unified champion. Shouldn't he have enough experience, or you seen something? The man came out of the damn world-class gym like he was doing CrossFit. It seems like he was preparing for the Olympic Games in powerlifting. Dude was 255. And it didn't look like he was just in there dominating Jermaine Franklin, and you know, with multiple knockdowns. All I'm saying is, what is this gonna do? Like, I know December's quite a ways away, but now the fans have to be subjected to Joshua stepping in there with who exactly? You wouldn't be a fool to give Dillian White another shot after you just faced his opponent. A fight for which Dillian won, but you fought his opponent. It was for a reason, because you probably thought Jermaine Franklin won, like I did. But I don't see him fighting a tough opposition to go in there around August and then get back in there to fight camp to face Wilder. I don't know this, man. It's something doesn't seem right about how they trying to link this up. Something isn't right, bro. Something isn't right. I just can't put my finger on something isn't right. I ain't gonna lie. Like they said, something just ain't right. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Real talk. Hit the like button on your way out, man. I gotta bounce. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man.